This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
What's up, people?
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, Dave?
All right,
Hello.
so let's go ahead and get started. So welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Still a Man podcast. Tonight, we'll be discussing the definition of family and the different types of family structure. So just so we'll have some basic guidelines, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a definition for the word family. So basically, it is a basic social group consisting of parents and children that dwell within the home or not. And the different types of family structures consist of the traditional one, which is the nuclear family, that is made up of parents and children. And then the next one is an extended family. And this family is made up of parents, children, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, or any other family members that reside within the home. The next one is a blended family. Now, this family, the blended family, is made up like a step family, whereas there's parents, but the parents either have one or more non-biological child that is not related to their spouse. So they have no children together in some senses. The next one is the same-sex family. And that's where you have two moms as parents or two dads as parents, and then they have children. The next one after that is the adopted family. Now, the adopted family consists of parents that have adopted children. So now these are their children legally, and they are taking care of them due to the adoption process. And then the next one consists of foster family. And the foster family is made up of parents or an adult that has been given the charge of a child or children for a short period of time. It's very rare that these children remain in the foster homes more than a year. The last one is the single parent household. And that is simply put, is usually either a mother or a father that is raising the children by themselves due to they just choose not to have a spouse legally or someone that they're living with and having children with that they're not married to. Or it's usually due to divorce or due to someone is died or incarcerated. And then there's one more that does not get talked about a lot, but it is the sibling family, where the siblings, be it the older sibling is raising her younger siblings or his younger siblings, due to the fact both of the parents are not within the family for whatever reason, due to one might be dead, the other one might be incarcerated, or they're just unfit to raise the minor children, and the sibling has stepped in to provide care. So with those basic guidelines and definitions, let's go ahead and get started. Let me go around the room. We're gonna start with Patsy. Patsy, can you give me your definition of what a family is and which one of those family structures that you fit into?
Um, like pretty much what you just said, like a family, um, like parents taking care of their kids and stuff. So pretty much like where I fit in is like my mother was a single parent, um, raising me, my sister, my brother, so yeah, so yeah,
Okay, so you're saying that you and your siblings fall under the category as a family that was raised by a single parent. So you
yeah.
would be categorized as the single parent household. All right, let's get another one. Timmy, you want to give us your definition and tell us which family structure that you was raised under?
Uh, the nucleus one, well, because, we, it was five of us.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the old man he was there, but he wasn't there at times. And, then he just up and jumped up and did his own thing. So mom became mother and father. She both at one point. And so, that's just how it goes. Dad don't be there, the mom or it could be vice versa. The roles could be switched where the mom ain't there, but you know, the burden always falls on the women, and that's just because by birth, they do have you know spend the most time if the kid is breastfed, then yeah, that's a close knit right there from just being breastfed. So that just is goes to say that that's the reason why women always be looked at as mom and dad because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be a vice versa for the father. And, the mother is doing her own thing. He
Okay.
could be mom, dad, mom, or whatever.
So, for sake of argument, is it safe to say that your family structure started out as a nuclear family structure and then it evolved into a single parent family structure?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. So let's move on. Let's get somebody else's opinion. Um, let's get, I believe Josie's in the house. Josie, can you give us your definition of family and what family structure that you fit under? And just in case you missed, it is a nuclear family, an extended family, a blended family, a same-sex family, a foster family, an adopted family, a single parent family structure, and then the sibling family structure where the children are being raised by their sibling. And I hope I didn't miss one, but tell me which category you fall under. Josie, are you having mic problems? So
Sorry, could
everybody,
you hear me?
just so
This
you
is
know,
Robert. I want to answer for Josie because at this time she's not available to speak. So I'm gonna say nuclear, or I have both my parents at the beginning. As time went on, I can say it became a 70-30. Mom's was in the home majority of the time, taking care of all her children. Dad was in the home at the beginning, but it didn't. He started fading, but he was still there, but not so much all the way there. But so That's why I call it a 70-30%, 70 for moms and 30 for dad.
Okay, so you're actually speaking for yourself, and you say that you was raised under the nuclear family structure. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and get Tanya's. Tanya, tell us which family structure was you raised under, and which one did you fit into?
Um, I, at certain points and times of my life, have been a part of a lot of them. Started off as a nuclear, ended went into single, went into extended, went into blended, went into church family that you didn't mention.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I fit into all of them. At certain times in my life, I was a single parent. Certain times in my life, I benefited from being extended. Extended meaning, aunts, uncles, grandparents. Extended meaning important people in your life that become your extended family.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nita.
Mm-hmm.
I would do anything for that woman.
Okay, so it's fair to say.
I'm not just Nita, but the Bruntons as a clan, and
Mhm.
and friends that I've been able to depend on.
Okay, all right. So just to be clear, so Tanya is saying she has benefited from each of the different types of family structures. Uh, as a child, is it fair to say that? So tell us what it was. Which family structure did you fit in
The
as a
most
child?
as a child,
Yes.
as a child, single. It's nucleus was just that I won't even count that because my father was gone before I was 2.
Mhm.
So I would say single parent, extended family, um, at the childhood stage.
Mhm.
As my young adulthood stage, I met people, I had friends that became my family, and I consider them part of my extended family. Young adulthood, when I started having kids, my kids benefited from that, like, that family structure
Mhm.
of extended family and friends becoming your family.
Mhm.
And blended family. When I got married to my husband, or when I became involved with my husband, our family became blended.
Yes.
So there you go.
So you basically are well-rounded. You benefited from each of the structures, both as a child and as a young person, and now as a mature adult.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me just get some other perspectives. You guys, I thought I heard some other names. Keisha, are you in the house?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, you want to share?
Yeah.
So which one of the family structures do you think that you can be categorized? Both give me like when you was growing up, which one did you fit into? And as you became a young adult and currently, which structures do you fit into?
Well, David, what's the structure that you consider? Because I always had a stepfather.
Okay, so the stepfather would be the uh, I would say that is the blended family.
Okay, blended family. I had a
Okay.
blended family from the time I was 1 years old, and I am 47, and he is still around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my childhood part. And I
Mm-hmm.
was a church kid, believe it or not. I do know the
Mm-hmm.
Bible. I know y'all probably don't believe it, but a bitch do. But anyways, And now I got a blended family, I would say.
Mhm.
Because
So,
everybody in here got different fathers, Robert. David, you know that.
yeah, but you are the common denominator. So in this situation, yes, uh, they may have different fathers, but yeah, you guys are a blended family, but at the core, it's still mom because all of them have the same maternal parent.
Okay. And I got my family, I got y'all. I
Mhm.
pull myself back sometimes. That's because that be on me. I ain't feeling good with me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I know I always got my family no matter what. So
Okay, so that's your extended family that you're speaking of.
right.
Okay. Now, has there ever been a time where you could be categorized as a single parent household?
Yes.
Okay,
Between
share.
yeah, I'm okay. Let me share with that. Well, let me see. I was a single mother for a little while through the relationships, David, like
Mhm,
the breakups or whatever.
mhm,
But basically, all their fathers was around, but I might not wasn't with them though. I
mhm,
tried to be with them, until it was over.
mhm.
And yeah, I could say I was a single mother at a time. Yep.
Okay,
I could say I was a single mother 3 times sometimes.
okay. And let me ask you about the family, which consists of the parents, be it you and your current spouse or your current mate. You have children together, and your children reside in the home,
Yes.
and you have a grandbaby.
Yes. And another one on the way, everybody.
All right, okay. So you guys are definitely an extended family. You guys
Yes.
you with this living within the home because
Right.
you got mom and dad, you got the children, and now you got the grandchildren.
Yeah, David, and I'm happy they back.
Well, I'm happy for you guys. That's a sound family structure. As long as it works for you guys, and keep working the process.
Right.
All right, so let's move on to some others. Um, who else do we have in the house tonight?
Um,
Don't.
hello, everybody. Sorry for being late.
G, I
All
know
right.
that voice. What's up, G?
Who else?
I see little Timmy.
I'm here. Sorry.
Patsy. We've heard from Patsy. We heard from Keisha. We heard from Robbie. We heard from
Erica.
Timmy. We heard from Tanya.
Erica's on there.
I'm
Easy.
here.
You
Erica?
want to? How you doing,
Yeah.
Easy? You want to share?
I'm so sorry. I'm over here working out in the gym. So let me know if I
That's
need to go in the
okay.
bathroom because it's a little noisy. But
It's okay. I mean,
I would
do you want to share?
yeah, sure. So I would say I'm kind of maybe like 2 or 3 in one. So I would say when I was younger, it was more of a blended family. Like, my father and my mother was together until probably I was like 2, 3. Then that's when she got with my little sister's father until she was like maybe 6, 7. And then after that, my mother was by herself for a little bit. And then the guy that she's with now, KC, when I was like 10 years old. So I would say it would be like my parents were together at first when I was born. And then mainly Diamond's father was my blended family, as I think that would be the stepfather. And
Yeah.
then the extended, why was I saying extended?
So your extended would be anything that consists that consists of your parents, your siblings, and
Okay, yeah,
other
so I was
family
saying,
members.
I was saying extended because, like, to me, after a while, my mother she's a single parent within like the 2 baby fathers that she had. So to me, it was single when we was raising up. Like, I really only see my father on holidays. And that's if, sometimes he wanted me to pay to go out there to New York, or I would have to pay out of my own pocket if I had a job at the time to go see my
Mhm.
father. Like, you know, so I was mainly raised all by my mother. My mother's the one that always bought me stuff. Always, I depend on her for things. Him, he was more or less like, okay, I'll see him when I can. And the reason why I was saying extended is because, you know, I don't look at my mother's boyfriend as my stepfather. I don't care if he's been in my life since I was 10 years old. I look at Rob as it. So, like, that's why I say extended, as in, you know, off of envy, you know, I met Rob and, you know, automatically I see him as a father figure. So that's why I say 3 in 1. But yeah.
Okay, so you benefited from a lot of the family structures. So if I heard you correctly, you said started out as a nuclear because your
Uh-huh.
mom and dad were together. Were they living in the same household?
They was, yes.
Okay, so that was the nuclear. And then
Mhm.
for a time, your mother, she did it alone, and then she ended up meeting
Well,
someone
kind of.
else and then
Well, yeah,
having
she kind of
another
cheated on my
child.
father and then with Diamond's father. And then that's kind of how that twined. So when I was like
Mhm.
2.5, 3 years old, that's when that happened.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was like a jump into a relationship, into another relationship. So my mother kind of didn't have free time with that. I'm saying as in when Diamond's father and my mother broke up, my mother had that free time for a while. She was like, you know, her Mary J. Blige depressed moments. And that was for like 5-6 years. And then she met the man she's with now. So yeah, it was like that, basically.
Okay, all right. So, did I miss anybody? Was there anybody else that wanted to share? Gregory, let's get Gregory. Gregory, let's get you to jump right in and tell us what family structure did you fit in as a child, and what family structure do you currently fit into?
It's crazy because I fit a lot of those categories. I have a main family and then I have an extended family. I have a blended family. So
Okay, so share. Let us. So what category did you fit in as a child growing up?
as a child growing up, I was part of a big family. So you could say it was like my immediate family, and then you got my cousins, and then sometimes distant cousins, and we all was close. We used to have big barbecues and fish fries, and you could see your whole
Mhm.
family. I know some of my friends growing up would tell me like, your family is so huge. I've never seen nothing like this.
Mhm.
And then
So
as I grew, I could recognize people that I called family growing up that probably isn't a part of my real family by blood, but this is still my family. So it's like an extended, blended mix coming from my family. And there's a lot of people on the phone like this right now that's a part of my family like that. You get what I'm saying? And then I had sons. So I made a whole nother family just growing. And they're both by 2 different women. So it's kind of a blended thing going on with me with that too.
so tell me this. Let's stay right there about the children. So let's start out. Let's go back to the origin. So as a child, if I heard you correctly, it started out as an extended family. You was uh, immediately a part of an extended family. So were you living in the household that consists of your mom and your other family members?
Yeah, yes, at the beginning, we came from the projects. It was a lot of us under one roof. Grandma was raising everybody. And then it started breaking down as people branched off and grew their wings. And me and my mother probably was living together in a single parent household at this time.
Mhm. Okay. Now fast forward. Uh, so how did you said something about? So would you categorize yourself, because you say you have children, you have 2 sons. So would you categorize yourself as a single parent, a single household family structure, a single parent household family structure? What would
I
you?
think by definition, yeah, when I come over, but my baby's mothers, they have parental custody of my kids, so they would be considered the single parent
Mhm.
in the whole situation.
Okay, so you don't live within the family structure. You don't live in the household.
Yes, my kids don't live with me. They live with their moms.
Okay, so we'll come back to that. So do we have anybody else that wants to share? Did I miss anyone? Okay, so let's go ahead and break these categories down. So as promised, we're gonna come back to Gregory. So Gregory, if you would like to, and you guys do not use any names. So just to give people a brief overview. So again, tonight we're discussing the definition of family and the different types of family structure. So Gregory is about to share with us his parenting and family structure. Or he's gonna. I want to know, because his children don't live in the home with him. I want to know about these women. And again, guys, let's try not to use names. So let's refer to her as baby mother number one. Did you know this individual growing up, and did you know of her family structure? What was her family structure like?
At first I didn't know her because we was living kind of fast. And you're meeting a person, you might start doing things with this person, and then things happen, when you're not using protection, or you slip up or something like that, condom breaks. That's what comes with having sex. So
But what was her household like? Did she grow up when you met her? Was there a mom and dad in the home, or was her mother a single mother?
so she
Or
had a mother with somebody living with them
so
that
was
wasn't
this
their father.
okay? So that would be a blended family structure. Now, did they all live with the mother, or did everybody live together? What was the situation?
Say that again. Can you repeat that?
So when you learned of this young lady's family structure, and we referred to it as a blended because you said the mother had a mate that was not the children's father or biological father. Um, did did they live within the same household? Everybody lived in the same household when you met them?
Yes, everybody was under one roof.
Okay, so once the baby came into the equation, uh, what was the family structure then? Did the mother still reside with her mother and her mother's mate?
I mean, there was a lot of factors going on I don't know what was going on in my era with the girls growing up, but a lot of them was fighting with their parents. So it was a lot of factors. Once she had the baby, she was trying to get out of her mother's house.
So where did she reside if she was not living with the mother?
At her grandmother's for a second, and then she resided with me for a second at my mother's house.
Okay, okay. See, I wouldn't even know how to categorize that type of family structure other than I guess you guys, in a sense, where when she came to live with you, it would be like the situation where you're living with your parents, and the parent has their child and their child's mate and their grandchild living with them. Could you categorize you guys as that family structure?
I would think it would be a blended family now because I brought in a total stranger.
Well, a blended family would be if you was actually uh if you was living on your own with this individual, and you guys did not have children together, but in this situation, you guys actually had a kid together, and you were living in your mother's house. So that's why I would say that would be like, I think that's like a joint family where you have the parents, the children, the children's spouse or mate, and you have the grandchildren living with them. So that is the mother of your first child. Let's talk about the second child and his mother. What was her family structure like? Was she raised in a single parent family structure, or was it extended family structure? Was it an adopted family? Was it a foster? Was it a nuclear? Was it a blended? Was she raised by her siblings? What was that situation? Gregory, did I lose you? Hello, can you guys still hear
Hello,
me?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Basically, she was living in a single parent household with her mother.
Okay, so all of these guys in each of these situations, both of those mothers were raised in like a single parent household family structure. So what is the current structure with these women are raising your sons? So let's go back to the first child's mother. What is that family structure? Is it a married? Is she married, living with her spouse and your child, or is she living in a structure where she has a mate and they're actually your child resides there with them, or what is the situation?
I'm pretty sure that right now she has a fiance, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that she's married. But she does live with another mate.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
All right, so guys, I want you to remember what he's saying about these individuals, because we may or may not come back to it if time permits us to. We'll revisit this. Now, real quick, let's talk about the second child's mother. Is What is that family structure? Is it a nuclear? Is it a extended? Is it a blended? Is it a same sex? Is it a adopted family? Is it a foster family? Or is it a
Well,
single?
right now, I'm actually going through some legal issues because of my second baby's mother, and she has some foster care stuff going on with my son right now that I probably wouldn't like to get too in depth to.
Mhm. But it's legally you can say you're saying that he resides in a foster home.
Yes.
Okay, so this is interesting because this comes from uh you guys, I want you to see the cycle, the evolution. Whereas Gregory was raised as a child in an extended family structure, and then it evolved into a single parent family structure, and now as he's actually parenting from afar within the legal ramifications, what they're allowing him to do. So in this situation, one of his children are being raised in a blended family of sorts, and the other one is legally in a foster family structure. How do you guys like, Tanya? Let me ask you this: like, what do you say to that situation? You guys got any advice for Gregory?
About which situation? The foster?
Yeah, just pick one.
Um, ooh, the it really boils down to communicating and him exerting his rights as a father.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
All right. Anybody else want to share? Anybody else got some advice for him?
Yeah, I do, cause G, just do what you need to do and let them courts handle that.
Mm-hmm.
That's all for for the sake where he will maintain his sanity and he won't come to no harm. So let the courts deal with it. It ain't
So
we all know it stink and it hurts, okay? And it shouldn't be going on, but it's out of his hands.
yeah.
Cause he tried.
Mm-hmm.
And so did his mother.
Exactly.
Yep.
It
So
ain't nothing he could just deal with the system and you will be fine.
okay. So I think I heard a new voice. Was that Pat? Is Pat a part of the discussion? Okay, so that
No, I
wasn't me.
don't hear him.
Okay, so let's do this. So let's go back. Let's visit the. Let's be fair to everybody. Does anybody have a family member, friend, or neighbor that is in a same-sex family structure? And anybody just jump out there. Anybody, let's share. No one has anything to share? Okay, so I'll
David,
share.
I don't think that I have a family member. I can't think like right off oh yeah, we got family members that way that live, that way. But we got a friend that has a same sex household.
Okay, so and without using names,
yeah,
let's because if we're gonna talk about family, as I stated before, we have to recognize every family structure.
Right.
And so it would only be fair to discuss this one as well, give it its just due.
Right.
So, all right, so we're gonna talk about a same-sex family structure, and we're not gonna use names. So is in this situation, is it two women, or is it two women that have chose to live together and with a matrimony of sorts, or is it two women that are cohabitating and have a child together due to a surrogate parent, or due to a a child that was had before those two got together, or a child that they have adopted legally, or a child they're providing foster care? What's the situation?
Okay. When they got together, the person had a daughter already.
Okay.
So that person took that on.
Okay.
So now they have a grandson from that daughter.
Okay. So now they automatically become an extended family. So let me ask you this question: does the child of the couple reside within the home with the grandchild?
Not anymore. She just, maybe this last year she just got her own.
Oh, so this is beautiful. So this is a situation where the parents were able to offer parental guidance to was it a young lady?
Yes.
So it's to the young lady, and they offered her enough tutelage so that she felt comfortable, or they felt comfortable enough to basically, like, allow her to spread her wings. Because I was gonna say, boot her out the nest so that she has to learn to fly on her own, learn to use her wings. But in this sense,
well, David, it was like this. They got, how to, everybody knows now how the kids is. They get a little grown with themselves. So people had got into a new relationship, and a new relationship was pushing her like, you need to get on your own because you took grown, which was good or whatever and things. So that person took the initiation to move out on their own and go in a shelter. people didn't push him out, didn't tell him to get out and nothing. But that was a good step, which they're happy for that.
Mhm. Okay. So in this situation, the parents were able, like I said, to offer this child enough parenting and
Yep.
guidance, direction, where they were able to now go out and be a parent to their own and run their own household. So now this
Yes.
individual, this young lady, is she a single parent family structure, or
Yes.
does she have a
Yes.
mate?
She's a single parent, but she has a mate.
Okay.
You
Okay.
understand?
Okay, so she has a mate.
She has a mate.
Mhm.
All right. So does anybody else want to share? Does anybody else have any examples or experiences where they know of same-sex couples that are living together or living together with children?
Oh, excuse me, y'all. Let me say one more thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they the person took initiation to go on and adopt this person. So this person is legally theirs now, and so is the grandson.
Okay. So they started out as a blended family of sorts, and now they're legally adopted family, and an extension, they're an extended family as well, because the grandbaby.
Yes. Right.
Okay. See, that's beautiful, because in that situation, it don't matter what their sexual preference was. They had enough love to make sure that they offered shelter for the family and provided a family structure of sorts. All right, so let's talk. So since no one else wants to share about same sex, that no one else has any like experiences. Let's go back to the blended family. And Tanya, I think you said that you are a member of a blended family. You want to share?
Yeah, well, I'm a member of a couple of blended families.
Mm-hmm.
I have a blended extended family. I have a blended church family,
Mm-hmm.
and and my blended nuclear family.
Okay.
Uh,
So break it down for us. Like, give us like examples of each. Let's start with the nuclear family.
my blended nuclear family is my husband, myself, my biological children, my stepchildren, grandkids. That's my blended nuclear family.
So wait, let me stop you. So within the in the formal definition, you guys would be considered a blended family. Because do you have any biological children together?
No, we don't.
Okay, so you guys still fall under the blended family. So that's the form of that family, the blended family. So you also said you guys are an extended family. So share with us about that, about the extended family.
Extended family would be like my cousins, my grandparents, well, that both are passed now, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my friend family, that I don't consider a friend family. I consider family. Um, like, like the Bruntons, I gravitated towards Nita because when she babysat my kids for me when I started working, and I came into that house and I seen all that love and that big family, it reminded me of my family in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
It gave me something that I was missing at the moment. And Nita was just so giving and so loving.
Mhm.
It just was like a home away from home. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my family. And my church family, my pastor was more like my father than my pastor. Today is his birthday.
Mm-hmm. Happy birthday and God bless him.
and you know, his kids, and him and his wife, they had foster kids as well.
Mhm.
So, you know, I benefited from knowing them as well. It's just a lot of love, and you need a lot of love and a lot of nurturing. It goes to it takes a village to raise a family, because there are some things that you could be lacking in as a parent that the others have, and that they're instilling in your kids
All
and your
right,
loved
so
ones.
let's go ahead and open this up, because now that we know what these formal definitions are for these different structures, let's talk about how they relate to the children, and most of all, let's talk about how they relate to us, like how they brought about our evolution. Because is it fair to say that all of us in attendance, you're not the same person that you was when you was a child and when you was a teenager to the mature adult that you are currently?
Fair to say.
So, and this is for everybody. Does anybody else agree with that?
I do.
Okay. All right. So
Yes.
I guess everybody
Yeah.
else got their phones on mute.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So again, is Sean with us?
Can you hear me,
Yep,
Cousin
I'm
Jay?
here.
Yes, I can
Yeah.
hear you. What's going on, Pooh? So
Yeah, I logged on here late, but
all
I'm
right.
here.
So first, I'm gonna ask you, we're gonna go to Sean, and then Pooh,
Yep.
if you want to share after Sean, then I want to get
Right.
your perspective on the type of because I didn't get you guys' opinions on what type of family structure you fitted into when you was growing up, and what you currently represent now. So let's start with you, Sean. So again, if for those who are just tuning in, this is the Still a Man podcast, and tonight we are discussing the definition of family and the different types of family structure. So
Right.
a family in the formal sense is a social group that's made up of the parents and children. And then you have all these different types of family structures, such as the traditional one, which is the nuclear family that is made up of the parents caring for the children within the home. And then you have an extended family where it's made up of the parents, the children, cousins, aunts, uncles, and probably grandparents. Then you have the blended families, where these are people that are either married or cohabitating together, and they have no biological children together. They both have children, but they have no children together. Then you have the same-sex families. Now, either these people are cohabitating together, be it married in some type of formal way, or they just decided to live together, or they have children that they are raising together. Maybe they've had children from previous relationships, or they have used a surrogate to bring about a child that they are taking care of, or that they have adopted a child legally, or they provide some type of foster care. So again, then you have your adopted families, whereas you know the parents are people that have adopted this child, so legally this child is theirs in every way that matters. And then you have the foster parents, who they provide shelter and they provide parenting for this child for a short amount of time. Usually it doesn't extend beyond a year, but sometimes there are extenuating circumstances and it goes beyond a year. And then you have your single parent households. And then you also have the situations where you have a sibling has stepped in to raise their younger siblings, because their parents have decided that they no longer want to be parents, or they're incarcerated, or they no longer are here with us in the earthly realm. They've died. They moved on. So this person stepped up. So Sean, tell me, which of those categories did you fit in as a child, and which category do you currently fit into?
Currently, I grew up in a nuclear family where it was my parents and my siblings, and currently I'm in a nuclear home to where it's myself, my my son, and my son's mother,
Okay.
and you want me to expound of some
Yeah.
kind of way or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Growing up, let's see. So I said I was in a nuclear family. Although my dad had, I have two sisters that are older than I am, but they didn't live with us. They were
Okay.
from his relationship because we're not from here, from Boston.
Mhm.
And when he relocated, he and his girlfriend at the time, they went their separate ways. He then met my mom, and that's where me and my siblings that are under me, that's where we came along. But we, he married my mom, and we grew up together, and we would go and visit my sisters whenever we went to go visit my grandparents. Now, fast forward, moving into my life, I currently, like I said, I'm in a nuclear home family right now because it's myself, my son, and my son's mom. Now I have other children to where my my middle set of children, which are three, when I met their mother, and we got married, she had a son. And so that was what do you call, you said that was the blended family?
Yeah, so the blended family is when you have a family that consists of parents or two adults that have no biological children together.
Okay, so when we first met, that's how we were. We I had children, she had a son, but my kids didn't live with us. Now when she and I got together, her and her son moved in with me, and we lived together. Then we eventually got married, and then we ended up having 3 children together. And so that's pretty much the structure of how my family existence came to be.
Now, do your children, do any of your adult children have what type of family structures are they?
All right, so my 2 older girls, one is married and one is not. The one that's married, she has her husband had 2 boys who she is helping him co-parent with their mothers.
Okay.
But they call her, their second mom or what have you, and she's been around in their lives since they were both, I want to say, 2 and 4.
Yeah, that's long.
Yeah, and they're now, I want to say, 13 and 14, or 13 and 15. I'm sorry. And then my middle daughter, she has a son, and she's with her son's father, but they're not married, but they live in the same home, so they're together. And then my other children, I have, they don't have children yet, and hopefully we're gonna keep it that way for a while.
So do the younger ones live alone?
My oldest son, he lives with his girlfriend, but they don't have any children. And then the rest of them underneath them, they're young. They're at home with their mothers.
Okay. All right. So we got a blended family. We have a nuclear, and we have some that are still trying to figure themselves out, basically.
Yeah.
And they got time, so
Well,
we ain't gonna rush it.
no,
All
sir,
right.
not at all.
All right, so Pooh, you still with us?
I'm here.
All right, so you want to tell us what type of family structure that you had growing up, and what's your current family structure?
Well, my future current family structure, it was my mother and my father.
Mm-hmm.
That's the immediate family right there. You already know I have a brother and
Mm-hmm.
five siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Five siblings, my brother and my three sisters. So, you know, it wasn't it wasn't all that what it was cracked up to be growing up in this family.
Mm-hmm.
My mother, she was a witness. I had one birthday party, my
Mm-hmm.
first birthday party, and that was it. After that, she got into a religion. Religion was
Mm-hmm.
Jehovah's Witness. Jehovah's Witness. So it was really strict.
Mm-hmm.
No birthday parties, no, no holidays, celebrations, and none of that. This is what she
Mm-hmm.
believed in. So, me being a baby and growing up in it, I had to follow. I got out of it when I was 13, 14 years old. That's when I left
Mm-hmm.
my mother and my father to live with my sister and my brother-in-law in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So, other than that, it was good. It was a good relationship between my mother, well, my sister mom, I should call her,
Mm-hmm.
and my brother-in-law. And I did what I had to do. We're not perfect. We all messed up. I was messing up in school, and then she put me. Donna definitely, my sister mom definitely put me back on the right track. You don't want to end
Mm-hmm.
up like being incarcerated, being in jail and going that route that
Mm-hmm.
so many of us men go
Mm-hmm.
through. So I really looked at that and I was just like, okay, I gotta straighten up. So I graduated, ended up doing the right things, came back to Boston, came back to my mother. My mother and
See?
my father, they wasn't together.
Mm-hmm.
So they ended up getting a divorce when I was I think 11, 12. They ended up getting a divorce. So I
So
mean,
go ahead.
so um, I look at it like this: I could have went the wrong route and being a destructive man and doing things that you know what I mean because
Mm-hmm.
it was hard to like find myself as a person as a young adult because of all the things that happened what I mean through my family. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. But
So you guys, this is a really good discussion. So we're gonna keep it going. Tech person, we're gonna keep it going for uh try to extend it to another 20 minutes. Let it run to 8:20. Also, so guys, let me just say this. Pooh is sharing, he's telling us how his family is started out as a nuclear family structure slash blended, and then he also benefited from a sibling family structure. And now we're let's fast forward to current date. What is your family structure? What is your relationship with your family, and uh, how has it benefited you, good and bad?
good. The good part is I still have family, even
Mm-hmm.
though that my mom's passed away and all this or whatever. I
Yep,
still have
God bless
family.
you.
I get it. You know what I mean? I get in touch with my father, stay in touch with my sister mom. I try to stay in touch with my siblings, you know. The bad part about it is growing up, I really didn't have them in my life because I was always gone. I was always,
Mhm,
you know what I mean? I was always gone. I was always, doing what I got to do. Even with my, with my distant family, my cousins and everything. You know what I
mhm,
mean? My aunts, my uncles. I'm always distant. I'm always distant. Why? Because it's like, okay, I was always moving around.
mhm,
At a younger age, I was always moving around. I never stayed at one place. Never stayed at no place. One place. Never stayed. So with all that moving around in my adulthood, I know I should reach out more.
mhm,
I know I should, play a part in his family's role, but it just seems like that I'm always gonna be that person that moves around. I'm not gonna be that person that just be like, okay, I gotta reach out to this one and reach out to this one, reach out to this one.
mhm.
That's just my personality. This is how I am. This is just how I am, and it's like this is how I became an adult.
Mhm.
But I know I should be reaching out more, but I also think other family members should reach out to me more. I mean,
Mhm.
too. And that's just how I just feel. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right.
You
So
know?
let me say this to you guys and everyone. Anybody, feel free to answer this question. What do you guys say to those individuals that feel like that uh, the child that grows up in the nuclear family where they have both their parents, um, they're more well-rounded, they're more grounded, they have more focus, they're more disciplined, they have more chances to be successful, as opposed to the child that grows up in the single parent household uh, and the other family structures. What do you say to that? Let's Tanya. Tanya, you still there?
So I have to put my mic on.
Okay.
Um, I think that growing up in a single parent household and having all these different avenues that at your fingertips to where it's the village that raises the child can help that individual be more well-rounded because they're getting a lot of different life experiences to learn from, as opposed to being in a nuclear family, because that nuclear family could be uh, a toxic environment
Mm-hmm.
where they don't know how or feel the need that they need to go outside and create an extended family to in order to offset the toxicity.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Sean, as someone that grew up in a nuclear family, do you think that you have uh, more of a chance than others that grew up in single parent homes and the ones that grew up being raised by their siblings or a foster family or was adopted into a family or raised by another like family member?
Um, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know if I could answer if I was raised better than them, but I know I can give you the experience of how I was raised, and I
Mm-hmm.
think I benefited um, from the fact that I had both both an active mother and a father in my
Mm-hmm.
life. They worked together, and
Mm-hmm.
so um, uh, I'll say this little bit and jump off of it. I used to say to my kids all the time, I said, the way that my parents raised us, I always thought we were not necessarily that I think we was rich. I thought we was middle class and we
Mm-hmm.
weren't middle class. because I didn't know what it was to go without anything. And the way that we traveled, although now I'm finding out these things over the past maybe 10, 15 years, talking to my parents, that a lot of times when we took family trips and went away, it seemed like it was every other weekend or whatever the case may be. That was all because my dad would get a bonus in his checks. And so instead of him having, different vices to where he could have wasted that money, he took us on trips or what have you. And so I think I benefited in that aspect, to where I had two working parents in the house that worked together and raised us the best that they could.
Well, that's Robert, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
So, Robert, you want to give me your perspective? Do you think that growing up in the family structure that started out as nuclear, where you had mom and dad in the house, and then you had some extensions because you had other family members that lived with you at some point in time, and then you had like your uncles and aunts that played a valuable role in your life, be if they show good examples and bad examples. How did that benefit you as opposed to somebody that started out in a single parent household and it was that way until they became an adult, and then they currently basically practice the same family structure as a part of the same family structure when raising their children? Do you think that you have more benefits or less benefits?
I gain more benefits. I can also say it wasn't just from my family as the Brewingtons. I had the Jews, Barbadian mixture of Joseph's family. I even had the Puerto Ricans family show me some of their family values. And I took from almost every household that I went to the good, and I just, put it in what I already gained from my Brewington to learn outside uncles, aunts, cousins, brothers, and sisters was learning in their own households. And I gravitate to it. And like I said, it was beneficial for me to learn other people's upbringings, their family values.
Okay. Keisha, you still with us? Keisha, you still with us? Okay, her phone
I
might.
had to unmute my phone.
All right, there you go. So tell me, do you think that children that grow up in a nuclear family structure where it's two parents in the household, as opposed to a single parent, do you think that they fare better than the one that grows up, with two parents as opposed to one?
No, I don't think that's true all the time.
Okay.
I don't think that's true all the time, because one parent can do it. You might struggle, with your kids, but I believe that you can do it. You can do it. You don't need a both parent home to have, to have a good home or for all your kids to turn out good. That's not true.
Okay. All right. So let's get Gregory. You want to give us your perspective? Is Gregory still with us?
Yep, I'm still with you, big dog.
Okay. You want to give us your perspective?
Well, I think if you gave me 40 acres and a mule, and then you gave somebody else nothing, or you gave somebody else 20 acres and a mule, the person with the 40 acres got an advantage a little bit somehow, but it could be different. You get what I'm saying? It depends on who's raising the person. In a single parent household, they could have so many jewels to give to this person that they succeed in way better than a person in a What did you call it? With the N? A
The
neutral?
nuclear family.
Nuclear? A nuclear
Yep,
family.
nuclear. Yes.
Them-
So if I'm hearing you correctly, you would say the person is given, if I make it relate to what we're talking about, your metaphor, about the 40 acres and mules, you're saying that person is given the 40 acres and the mules is given more benefits because they have more going in, as opposed to that person that has less.
Yes.
Okay.
It might
So
be harder for the person with the 20 acres to come
okay,
up
so
to the 40 acres and then go on beyond that, exceed beyond that.
okay, so would the single parent represent the 20 acres?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I get what you're saying now. So the person that has the two parent household, the nuclear family family structure, has you feel to have more benefits as opposed to the single
Well, they should.
um,
Not necessarily all the
okay.
time, but they should. It should be that way. When you have both of your parents, it should be a beautiful life, but it doesn't
Okay.
always
Yeah.
happen that way.
All right. So now I hear what you're saying. So you're saying that the level of success that they have should not be any surprise to anyone because they was given more to begin with. The person that started out with less, their chances of success is not as great as that one that was given more
Yes,
opportunity.
because you have double with the other person was given. You get what I'm saying? You
Got it.
have more insight off
Got it.
the beginning. So you should be able to utilize more tools. But sometimes, depending on who the parents are, they might not have the tools to give to their kids like that, and they might not have a kid that's going to succeed because it's the two of them. They might be fighting and bickering in the house all the time. They might be a
Might be
drug
generation
addiction
versus
or something. Factors in it.
Yep. Okay. So let me be fair with the time. Patsy, you want to tell us, give us your perspective? Do you think growing up in a single parent structure do you think it has more benefits or less benefits than the person that grew up in the other type of family structures?
I think it depends on the parenting skills of the nuclear family and the single parent, because sometimes y'all know how my mom was.
Mm-hmm.
She held down the fort with a iron fist. You know what I'm saying? But she was fair with us when it came down to disciplining us and having a good listening ear. She kind of was like a well-rounded single parent. And
Mm-hmm.
not all single parents are well-rounded like that, nor is it the same way in a nuclear family. It depends on whether or not those parents are tag teaming with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because if they're not tag teaming and on the same page, you might not have as many benefits as a nuclear family setup as you do the single parent, because that single
Mhm.
parent can know how to get the stuff done better and know how to get the resources. It's about tag teaming and collecting the resources to where you need to take care of them kids. If you're not out there trying to hustle on it,
Mhm.
your kids in a nuclear family gonna end up and stuff as opposed to the single parent kids.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So it depends on the structure in the household.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. So Timmy, I'm gonna let you go on and I think you're the last person. I don't think that there's anybody else after you, but go ahead, Timmy. Timmy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I want to know, do you think that the people that grow up in the nuclear family structure as opposed to
I
the
don't.
single parent?
I I don't think it really. makes a difference because uh, somebody that came from a nucleus can also be single and you I believe that each one has has been cut from a certain cloth, so sort of say. So if you're cut from that cloth, then there's nothing that you can't do far as saying, so if you came from a great family and they did their thing and all that, right?
Mhm.
Now you come back and you're single, right? So it doesn't really, I don't think it really matters as if nucleus. It really depends on the individual and what cloth they was cut from, because you can say two is better, but one is just as good as two. So it don't really matter. I don't think.
All right, so I'm gonna say this to you guys. I want to thank everybody for participating. I applaud you guys because you did a great job staying within the structure of the conversation. So I'm going to wrap it up by saying this. You know, words are strong, and we got to know the definitions of the words. So again, we'll talk about family structure. So let's take the first word. Family is a social unit that's made up of parents and children and all type of different. Now you have the structure, and that's the structure in which the family is raised and stuff like that. So that's where you get the different types of family structures, which we all know now. And there's several. There's the nuclear one. There is the extended one. There is the blended one. There is the same-sex family structure. There is the adopted family. There is the foster family. There is the single parent family. There is the sibling that's raising the family. Also, there's situations where the grandmother is raising the children. But in even way, in even in any case, the structure it has to be strong and it has to be disciplined. So y'all know that saying. It says it takes a village to raise a child. That's what we have to get back to truly. But also, let me go ahead and say this to you guys. If you haven't had the pleasure of visiting our online store, Emporium Plus, just log in, just go on Google anything and type in emporiumplus.org, and then you can see all the latest designs by Adapt the Parish First Lady, Envy Forever, You Serum, and Still a Man. And we got a whole bunch of things there, something for everybody. So when I say it's your one-stop shop, it truly is. Also, if you guys would like to watch any of the previous episodes, just log into YouTube and type in S.A.M. Still a Man Podcasts. Also, you can now listen to the podcast, any previous episodes on Spotify. So the podcast, everything stemming around this it's evolving. So you guys come along for the ride because it's going to be an adventure. So until next time, I thank you all for participating. God bless you. Good night.
Good
Night,
night.
family.